Hello everyone, everything good? Who out there is also passionate about football like me? I love this sport. It's a passion that has been with me since childhood. And today, I want to talk to you about the most dangerous classics in football. Those games that leave any fan with their hearts in their hands, and that often end up in confusion. So if you're a football fan and want to know more about these classics, keep watching the video. The derby between Barcelona and Real Madrid is one of the biggest and most intense in world football. These two Spanish clubs are the most popular and rivals in the city of Madrid, and the rivalry between them is considered one of the greatest in the world. The first game between the two teams took place in 1902, and since then, Barcelona and Real Madrid have faced each other in more than 252 games. The clash is known as El Clásico, and is one of the most anticipated on the world football calendar. Galatasaray and Besiktas are two of the biggest football clubs in Turkey, and star in one of the main classics in the country, known as Istanbul Derby. The confrontation is marked by the historical rivalry between the two clubs and their respective fans, who usually provide an intense and passionate atmosphere in the stadiums. In summary, the derby between Galatasaray and Besiktas is one of the main ones in Turkish football and represents the historic rivalry between two of the greatest teams in the country. It is a game that involves a lot of passion and intensity on the part of the players and fans, and that is always highly anticipated by fans of the sport. The derby between Corinthians and Palmeiras is one of the biggest and most traditional in Brazilian football. These two teams are the most popular in the city of São Paulo, and the rivalry between them has been intense for over 100 years. The first game between the two teams took place in 1917, and since then, Corinthians and Palmeiras have faced each other in more than 360 games. The rivalry between the two fans is so great that the classic is known as Derby Paulista, and is one of the most anticipated on the Brazilian football calendar. The games between Corinthians and Palmeiras are usually very disputed and intense. They are often marked by tough and controversial plays. The rivalry between the fans is also great, and there are often provocations and arguments between the fans, both inside and outside the stadium. The Classic Grenal is one of the biggest and most traditional classics of Brazilian football, involving the teams of Grêmio Futebol Porto Alegrense and Sport Club Internacional, both from the city of Porto Alegre, Rio Grande do Sul. The rivalry between Grêmio and Internacional is so great that it's hard to find a fan who doesn't have a story to tell about the clashes between the two teams. The first Grenal in history took place in 1909, and since then, the two teams have faced each other in more than 400 games. The Classic Grenal is known for the intensity of the games, which are often marked by tough moves, arguments, and expulsions. In addition, the rivalry between fans is very strong, which has resulted in several clashes and episodes of violence over the years. However, despite the rivalries, the Classic Grenal is also one of the most anticipated games on the Brazilian football calendar. Fans of both teams fill the stadium to support their teams and have that typical gaucho football party. In summary, the Classic Grenal is one of the most important and intense rivalries in Brazilian football. It is a game that stirs the fans' emotions and is always highly anticipated by sports fans. The 2018 Copa Libertadores final was one of the most memorable moments in the history of the competition. It was played between Argentina's two biggest rivals, Boca Juniors and River Plate, and became known as the Superclásico of the Americas. However, the first match, played at La Bombonera Stadium, home of Boca Juniors, ended in a 2-2 draw. In Buenos Aires, the match held at the Bernabeu on December 9, 2018 was intense and emotional, with River Plate winning by the score of 3-1, with goals from Juan Quintero, Gonzalo Martinez and Pity Martinez, while Boca Juniors' goal was scored by Dario Benedetto. The match was accompanied by millions of fans around the world, who followed one of the most anticipated and closest finals in the history of football. It was the first time that the Copa Libertadores final was held outside South America, and River Plate was crowned champion of the competition for the fourth time in the club's history.